You slept 8 hours last night. You made your coffee. You sat down at your desk. You opened your laptop, and your brain just didn't show up. The words are right there on the screen. The ideas are somewhere in your head, but everything feels like it's moving through fog. You read the same sentence 3 times. You forget what you were about to do. You drink more coffee, and nothing changes. Most people chalk this up to laziness, or stress, or just needing a better morning routine. But here's what's actually happening. Your brain is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. And that design is what's working against you right now. Today, I'm going to show you the 4 biological systems responsible for this, and why your brain, the single most energy-hungry organ in your body, sometimes chooses to dim the lights rather than keep running at full power. If you want to understand how your body actually works, subscribe to Clear Body Science. 1. The most expensive machine you own. Let's start with a number that surprises most people. Your brain is about 2% of your body weight, but it burns through 20% of all the energy your body produces every single day. To keep your neurons firing, the process behind every thought, every memory, every decision, your brain needs a continuous, second-by-second supply of fuel delivered through your blood. Unlike your muscles or your liver, your brain carries no energy reserves. It cannot stockpile. It cannot wait. It needs delivery right now. So your heart pumps. Your lungs pull in oxygen. Your circulatory system moves glucose. Every system coordinates to make sure the most critical organ stays prioritized. But here's what most people don't realize. When that supply chain gets even slightly disrupted, your brain doesn't push through it. It does the opposite. It shifts from high-level processing into basic survival mode. It starts rationing power. The sensation you get when that happens, that slowness, that cloudiness, that inability to think straight, that is what you've been calling brain fog. 2. The currency your neurons actually spend. Inside every brain cell are tiny structures called mitochondria. Think of them as miniature power plants. Their entire job is to take the glucose and oxygen arriving from your blood and convert them into ATP. ATP is the actual chemical unit your neurons spend to send signals. Every time a thought fires, ATP gets used. Every time information travels from one part of your brain to another, it costs ATP. When everything is working, when the fuel supply is steady, and when your mitochondria are operating efficiently, your brain processes information quickly and clearly. But when those power plants can't keep pace with demand, either because the fuel supply is unsteady or because the mitochondria themselves are running below capacity, ATP production drops. Your neurons don't have enough currency to fire reliably. Processing slows. Thoughts become fragmented. This isn't a motivation problem. It's an energy rationing problem. Your brain is doing exactly what any system does under resource pressure. It cuts non-essential functions first and protects the core. 3. The cleaning crew that only works at night. Now here's the part most people have never heard of, and it directly explains why sleep duration alone doesn't fix brain fog. When your neurons are active, they produce metabolic waste, damaged proteins, molecular byproducts, cellular debris. If this accumulates, it begins interfering with the electrical signals your neurons use to communicate. Your brain has a dedicated waste clearance system called the glymphatic system. It works by pumping cerebrospinal fluid through your brain tissue, flushing out that waste and carrying it away. Here's the key detail. This system is most active during deep sleep. Not light sleep, not REM, deep, slow-wave sleep. This is why you can sleep 8 hours and still wake up feeling foggy. The issue isn't how long you slept. It's whether your sleep was deep enough for the glymphatic system to complete its work. When waste accumulates faster than it gets cleared, the chemical environment inside your brain becomes increasingly noisy. You are trying to think clearly inside a system that is chemically cluttered. The signals are there, they're just being drowned out. 4. The fuel regulator that controls everything. Now let's talk about something most people think they already understand, and usually don't. Your brain is extraordinarily sensitive to the level of glucose circulating in your blood. Not because it's greedy, but because it requires stability. Spikes and crashes in blood sugar are the equivalent of flickering power to a data center. When you eat a high-sugar meal, glucose rises sharply. Your body responds by releasing insulin to bring it back down. If that response is too aggressive, which happens when your regulation system has been repeatedly disrupted, glucose drops faster than your brain can adapt. The result? Even after a meal, even after a full night's sleep, your brain finds itself in a state of oxidative stress. It pulls back from complex processing. It conserves. It protects. You experience this as a kind of mental wall, the post-lunch slump, the afternoon crash, the inability to focus, even when you feel like you should have the energy. Your body isn't betraying you. It's prioritizing your survival over your productivity. So let's bring this together. Brain fog is not a willpower failure. It is not simply fixed by more sleep or more caffeine. It is a measurable drop in metabolic efficiency, and it happens when one or more of these 4 systems falls out of balance. Your energy supply chain, your ATP production, your brain's waste clearance, your blood glucose regulation. When even one of them is running below threshold, the others compensate until they can't. The next question most people have after understanding this is, what does the gut microbiome have to do with any of it? That's exactly where we're going next. Clear body science, understanding how your body actually works.